What's going on, guys? So we had this after party of Path event. I had a few people asking me when I was going to do a breakdown on it. I know there's been a lot of breakdowns already talking about this stuff, so I'm not going to go in depth as far as the points required. I'm just going to give a quick snapshot, but it's essentially you have a far left path, assuming you're not just doing everything. You have a far left to get this key right here. You have a center left, which is going to be shared with the center right with one purchase right here. So you can purchase this, you purchase one of these two, whichever one you want, and then you can start going down the center left and the center right, so you save a little bit here. So there's no reason to skip either one of the center paths because you're going to have to go with a little bit of both of them. So we have center left, center right, and then we have the far right, which is going to be this rank charms down to the key. So the biggest difference, if you're going to decide to go for the Fire Knight key, is do you skip the accuracy path or the resistance path? Personally, I think I'm going to get the resistance glyph path, because 6-star Epic Chaos Ore is quite valuable to me. I could use the Chaos Ore. I need some Epic Chaos Ore. There's a lot of variable sets that I would love to rework in, and I just don't have very much Chaos Ore. So that's what I'm going to pick up. Epic Tome has little to no value for me, and it may or may not for you. But you can decide to skip either one of those. And then from there, you're going to have to work down to this soul. You can either go down right here, or you can go down this other side. They're both exactly the same as far as the price goes. You're both accessed from this center path anyways, so you're not going to be skipping either one of the centers, most likely. So you can pick either one of these, and this adds, I believe, 20,000 extra to it. Let's see, 23,000 for the 3-star soul at the bottom. So an extra 23,000 points for whichever way you go here. Now, for me, which one do I value more? If you like gambling, it's this one. If you like saving up your essences, it's this one, basically. But as far as everything else, that's really just, hey, if you have the resources, go for it. I would love an Eternal Soulstone, but it's going to be quite expensive to go for. Now, with all that said, there is the potential that, okay, you're just going to grab these keys, forget about going down here, save yourself 23,000 points, and just pick up these souls. I think if you're going to do that, you can probably just spend a little bit extra points and pick up this soul at the bottom, but that's up for you to decide. Essentially, what I want to explain is the energy breakdown in this, because this event is exactly the same as the previous Queen of Hearts event. Now, I have some energy stuff broken down here. I did it for the Queen of Hearts event, but I want to walk through it with you guys for this event. Now, with that said, I am going to leave this link down below if you guys want to check it out. If you want to plug your numbers in and see what you're going to actually get, where your points make sense, and what you're going to do, feel free. Though I'll try to separate this. Actually, let's just hide this sheet so nobody can see it. Hopefully, you can probably view it and see it from there, but I'm not for sure how that works. Either way, I'll share this down below. You guys can make a copy of it for yourself and then edit it however you see fit. Now, as far as the energy to point conversions that I did, basically, this event is 2.25 points more than a typical champion training event. So you can see here, a rank 5 upgrade is 13 points. A rank 5 upgrade typically is going to be 6. So if I did it correctly, I believe it's 2.25, 300 for rank 5 to 6 there, and then 5 to 6 there is 675. So let's double check this math real quick. 675 divided by 300, so 2.25. So you're getting quite a bit more points here than you would from a typical champion training tournament. Now just make it like numbers clear. If you need a total of 100,000 points, 101,600 divided by 2.25, as a typical champion training tournament, you only did champion training for this. This is how many points you would need to go for. If you've done 45,000 points in a champion training tournament before, well, with no booking allowed. So it's just champion training with just your champions, no books, nothing like that. So if you've done that before, then you can do this. Of course, there are shards you can throw in here as well. That makes it a little bit easier. Now, as far as the energy conversions, I basically just did some math from this, moved it over to this area, which I have this. I can share this down below as well if you guys want to check this out, the champion training calculator. I have explained it in previous videos. I don't want to dive into it here again because it'll probably just be a waste of your time. Now, with this, it comes out to about 4.92 points per energy. So if you're going to be saving, for example, 9,000 points going from one path to another, you just divide that 9,000 by 4.92, and you're going to get the energy that you would be essentially saving. Now, it's going to vary a little bit, and I'll get into that in a moment, but it's going to be about what you save. So then you have to look at, okay, is the Fire Knight tournament going to be able to be complete with about that much energy? Well, no, it's going to take more energy than that. However, don't do the Fire Knight tournament today, because tomorrow we have a Dungeon Diver event starting up. So if you were to save your energy do some shards maybe, do a little bit of brew champion training, stuff like that. If you were to save your energy for tomorrow, and then tomorrow you use the allure strategy that I did in an earlier video, which is stage 25 solo, now you're leveling champions, you're getting Dungeon Diver event done, you're getting the Fire Knight tournament done. So now all of a sudden, the energy efficiency becomes much more appealing. Now, I do have a team for stage 6 hard, which I'll probably show later in this video. But if we look at the actual breakdown as far as everything else goes, let's take a look at the numbers. So center left is going to be 9,000 points. Far left is 9,300. Right is 9,000. Far right is 9,300. Basically, the right and the center left, so basically the right and left, both the ones in the middle, those ones are, I've split the points. Basically, you purchase one, you get a discount on the other. It comes to be like 500 points difference. So I just did 250, 250 plus or minus. So these numbers are all correct, but it's going to look a little bit different. You may wonder, how's that actually happening? That's how it's happening. One is like 250 more, one's 250 less. I just equaled them out basically. The soul sections are 7K, 35K, and then 23,000 for the bottom. Total you need is right there. So as far as the actual breakdown for Fire Knight, the stages that I believe are going to be the most likely to be farmed is stage 20, because everybody knows stage 20 is the most efficient as far as gear energy ratio goes, but it's not going to give you very good gear, right? You're going to get 1.1 points per energy spent based on this Reddit thread 2 years ago. But I mean, it has hard mode dungeons, one of the few breakdowns that does, but you're going to be getting more points per energy spent than anywhere else, but you're not going to be getting good gear. There's a 3x Savage going on right now, so you're probably going to want to get some good gear. So then we start looking at, okay, stage 25. Stage 25 is the highest that you can do reasonably with epics. I don't think you can do epics on hard mode, definitely not soloing. You can do epics on hard mode. I got a team for that, I'll show. But stage 10 is going to be very difficult. The next one's going to be stage 6 on hard mode. So I think the breakpoints are going to be hard mode 6, normal 25, and normal 20. And then you have to consider, okay, normal 20, you could solo that. I'm not for sure who with, because the affinity is not as good on 20 as it is on 25 for Allure. 20 is force, so she can't do it. So you may or may not be interested in doing that. And then 25, okay, we're getting a little bit less points per energy spent, but it's not looking horrible. And then hard mode 6, we're getting better points per energy spent, but we can't do any soloing stuff. We maybe will fit a food in there, possibly, but I really doubt it, honestly. So what is the energy expenditure going to look like? Well, for stage 25, to finish the Fire Knight tournament and get that one key, you're looking at 2,997 energy. Remember, the energy that you're going to be saving by getting the key from Fire Knight is going to be that 1829 number. So if you decide to do the Fire Knight tournament, you're likely going to be spending between 641 to about 1,200 extra energy to complete the Fire Knight event, depending on which one of these you go for. Now, there's more stuff to that. You could have food in your Fire Knight stage 25 team, and now, while 25 is typically the worst to do, it is now actually pretty enticing because you're getting levels every time you run through it. So you're doing Fire Knight, you're getting work done on the Path event, and you're also working towards the Dungeon Diver starting tomorrow. So this actually becomes, in my opinion, the most enticing for efficiency. 6 hard or higher is going to be the best for like getting good gear and stuff like that, but not so much for efficiency. And then stage 20 is basically, okay, well, you can't do hard, you can't solo 25, you might as well just do 20, I guess, though 25 is going to drop you better gear, and it's probably easier because Allure just does so good. If you have her, 25 should be a cakewalk, basically. Ultimately, what it comes down to is if you pick to go for the Fire Knight key, you can cancel out the left path or the right path, whichever one. It's going to save you the same amount. It's going to be saving you about 1829 to 1890 energy. Now that you subtract from the energy cost that it takes to finish the Fire Knight area. So say you did 25, which seems to be the worst, just by the energy you spend there versus the energy you're saving. You subtract the 1830 from that, you're going to be spending an extra 1,167 energy to finish that event. Now, you got to take this a step further though, because while on paper initially it looks like, okay, this is not a great idea to even go for, then you start thinking, okay, well, if I'm soloing stage 25 with Allure, then I'm leveling food champion, so now I'm getting a bit more points. That's all dependent on the rank of food, but it has to be at least 4-star because it has to be epics only, remember that. So you're getting some points from leveling the champions. You're also finishing out some Dungeon Diver stuff. So now all of a sudden this extra 1,100 energy is going to start getting you other rewards from the Dungeon Diver event starting tomorrow. It's going to be getting you more points in the after party path, and it's getting you that key as well. So then you start looking at, okay, well, this is actually a pretty decent setup. While I'm talking about this, let's go ahead and start a allure run with maybe some low-level 4-star, low-level epic champions if I can, by rarity. Let's just sort by rarity, scroll down through the Legos and get to, hopefully, these are all 5 stars. 5-star level 1s, a lot of them are. Let's see if we have any just at 1 star. There we go. Level 1. Perfect. So we'll load this up. Let it start running in the background and see how many points it gets me at the end of that. But when it comes to which is the best and what I'm going to do, I'll show you guys the math on that in just a moment. Let's open this stuff back up and come over here to the path event. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and blank out all this stuff. I do have the math, the functions put in here now. So you guys can just enter. If you are entering like void shards and stuff, it has the, okay, well, we're going to multiply the number that you put here by the number of energy that it costs for that area. That's going to give you the energy number that it's going to actually take. So I converted shards basically to energy a while back. So this is going to multiply by the C13, which is right here for void shard section. Of course, you can edit that however you want if you make a copy. But let's say I just want to figure out first what I am going to get from shards, and then we'll go from there. Because I am going to pull some shards. I think I have 3, we'll call it 4 sacreds, okay? 4 sacreds is going to be 3,600 energy equivalent. So 3,600 energy, I went ahead and filled out the goal points to 101,000, basically. So now I need to find 83,000 points. Ancient shards, let's pull 10. 10 is going to be 610 energy. Not a crazy amount, but a little bit. Now for mystery shards, let's say we pulled 500. Is that going to be very much? 305 energy? Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's not. Let's say it's not worth it. For void shards, I really need to save those, honestly. For brews, how many would I have to pull to finish this off, basically? Let's say I did 2,000 brews. That would give me a good chunk, but not quite completing the event. Now, I am going to be ranking champions up, so that is not a energy thing I can convert. Actually, I could convert it pretty easily, because if you're taking 4-star champions to 5-star, then a rank upgrade to 5-star is going to be 225 points. So 4 to 5 is 225 each, right? 1 to 2 is going to be 10. 2 to 3 is going to be 35. If they hit 5-star, it's going to be 225 points. So 225 points would basically be, let's see, 225 divided by 4.92 is basically be 45 energy each time you do that to a 5-star champion. Also, if you're using your brews efficiently, it's going to be even better. So there's some things to consider there. But say we use 2,000 brews of different ranks or different affinities, all that kind of stuff. Brutal 12-3, I probably won't be running that very much, if at all. We'll do some rank upgrades for sure. I'll probably be doing this Fire Knight farming as well. So that'll be my energy expenditure primarily. But I may end up having to get some void shards pulled, because this is going to be pretty tight for me, honestly. I could do 10 and be okay. That gives me like a 1,500 energy equivalent, essentially. The energy required for this would basically be 101,000 divided by 4.92, which would be 20,000. So like, if it's just pure energy, 20,000 what you're looking at. But remember, each shard is converted over to something different. So you're going to be 20 sacreds, all that kind of stuff. Now this right here gave me 84 points for one run. So let's see. I'm not going to get 84 points every time, but let's say I averaged 70 points per run. And if I needed to do 3,000 energy divided by 20 and then times 150 by, say it was 70 points per run, it may be more, maybe less, depending on how many champions you have. Actually, let's say it's even 60. Let's go low ball on that. That'd be 9,000 points. 9,000 divided by 4.92 is going to be 1,800. So yeah, this would be amazing if you could just solo this. This is like the way to go, it seems like. Hopefully that math is tracking for all of you. But it seems as if I was even getting, say I did 150 runs, which is how many it's going to take to finish this event off. I did 150 runs at even 45 points each. Then it becomes profitable, basically, right? 4.92. I mean, it's still good. Like before, basically, this is also doing Dungeon Diver. So like, this is just by far the thing to do. If you start doing hard mode, you're not able to do the leveling as well. But this is saving me thousands of energy doing this, basically. So definitely something worth considering if you can solo stage 25 of Fire Knight. But if you can't, You're not going to be able to get the big savings, but I think it's still worth it to do Fire Knight for most players, especially with Dungeon Diver starting tomorrow. It's a great time to dump some energy into it. That's what I'll be doing. Save that key, not have to worry about it. So then, actually all of a sudden now, I don't need 101,000 points. I only need, let's see, 101,600 minus 9,000. It's going to be 92,600. So divide that by 4.92, 18,000. So I could change that number of points over there to that 92,600. It'd be fine. Then I'm a little bit closer, right? Actually, let's see, 92,600. We're looking at 7,000 point difference just with 4 Sacreds, 10 Ancients, 10 Voids, and a bunch of brews being used. Of course, these brews could just be energy, but it could also be just less brews. It really depends. Like, I have a lot of champions ready to go up to the next rank. So if I'm ranking a lot of champions up, those will give me a lot of points as well. Like taking a champion to 6-star is going to give you 675 points, which is essentially pulling a, Primal Shard, right? No. Primal Shard's worth way more. Primal Shard's worth 2,700. Was it always worth 2,700? I feel like it wasn't last time. That's a lot, actually. No, Primal Shard's worth way more this time. Whoa, that's actually, I did not realize that. So last time Void Shards were 750, Ancient Shards were 300. Dang, Primal Shards have shot up a ton in points. So 2,700 points for a Primal is actually much more than that. So what we do is 2,700. Actually, no, we do divided by or equals 2,700 times 4.92. So they equal, no, divided by 4.92, not times. We're going to get this moved over format, right? Number. Where do I do this? How do I? Okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, there we go. So 548.78 points per primal. That's actually, or 548 energy essentially per primal. They didn't quite double it, but it's a significant boost. So primals are actually not a bad thing to pull. So say I was to pull 5 primals. Dang, okay, that actually gets me really close. Huh, well, that's actually great to know. Primals are very close to the value of Sacred Shards, actually. So I may actually consider doing that now. That they're, I mean, how many would it take to just finish the event? 101 divided by, that's a lot of primals, 37, like 150 bucks. Guys, so that is my breakdown of this path event and the math behind it. Basically, what it comes down to is, yes, it is worth farming the Fire Knight tournament for this key, especially if you can solo stage 25 of Fire Knight. It's very worth it. If you can do hard mode, stage 6, it's worth it as well because you're going to get some Dungeon Diver stuff. It's not that much you're spending extra to finish this event, and you're going to be able to get the key saving you 9,000. So as long as you're dipping into the Dungeon Diver also, combining it all, it's going to work out pretty well for you. So as I said at the beginning, I want to showcase the team that I would possibly be using on Fire Knight Hard 6 if I was going to do this. To be honest, though, I'll probably just do the solo content for Fire Knight 25. Though with Allure, I'm going to have to make sure that I'm awake during that time because I want to make sure to check my PC every, like 30 minutes or so, because if a Gnarlhorn decides to wreck my team and just place Unkillable on himself, then I want to be there to be able to fix that. But this is the hard mode team that I'm running. This could basically be a lot of different champions. Dythe is here to help wave clear. Stagnites for the decreased speed. And Neldor's for the extra freezes. Creodin is for the extra freezes. And Farrakhan's for the ally attacks. Farrakhan ally attacks is very powerful. Makes everybody join in. Stagnite, easy. A1, decreased speed, double hit. Phantom touch wherever you can get it. It's going to help you out a lot with breaking that shield. I would honestly probably swap Stagnite, possibly. But it costs 300 gems. I don't want to do that. As long as you get the decreased attack up, you're going to be fine on this first slam of the Fire Knight shield. It's not going to be a problem whatsoever. And then I have a Merciless, maybe plus Relentless, I forget, on Farrakhan, which is going to help. So he's going to get back. At least I have Merciless for sure. Merciless plus Impulse, I think it is. I'll show you guys all the builds in just a moment. But he is going to be able to cycle through his stuff pretty quickly, get back around, and do more ally attacks. He has his A2 ability turned off, so the only thing that could possibly be getting its turn meter reduced is that A3 skill. So I do recommend that. While the A2 places poisons and is cool, we don't need poisons if you're never getting a turn, right? never getting a turn out of the first go, you don't need to have that A2 ability on any longer. So we're coming up on about 2 minutes. This is a 2-minute team. You're not getting anything extra as far as points. Or you could solo with Allure for just over 2 minutes and get some extra points. Not saying one way is the right way. This is going to drop potential of mythical gear. This is potentially a good piece here. You do get more legendary. You get better gear without a doubt from hard mode. So it's just up to you. Do you want to drop the energy for a lower stage but more efficiency? Or would you rather go for the hard mode for the better chance at more savage? It basically comes down to how much energy do you have. If you have plenty of energy, go hard mode, don't worry about it. If you're got to be more mindful, prepare for future coming fusions, all that kind of stuff, just do 25, try to solo it with Allure, or just duo it. You don't have to solo it. You can duo it relatively easily, honestly. Throw a different champion in there, maybe a strip champion, Archmage, we have Deacon, we have Skimfos possibly even. I forget if he did it or not, but I'm pretty sure he does. Anybody who could get rid of the unkillable from Gnarlhorn is going to make it easy, but just survive in the waves and you're going to be good to go, guys. So thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully this helps you all out. Sorry it was a little bit late. I was working on a few different things, but yeah, good luck. Use these resources to your advantage and let me know how it goes for you. I'll catch you all in the next one.